everybody. Welcome back or welcome to the Creepy Cascadia podcast. If this is your first time listening in, thank you. Or if you're rejoining us, thank you also. As always, I'm Sammy, one of your hosts, and I am joined here by my semi naked husband.
I don't need to know that. Don't be putting mental images into people's heads.
Yeah, don't think about that. That's only for me. For my
Yeah,
eyes only.
yeah.
Um,
We're just over here porky pigging. We're just over here daffy ducking.
that's right. Adam, my co host, who is sitting across from me right now.
Yes.
And it's been a day. It has been a fucking day, let me tell you, people.
First day back after vacation is usually pretty rough.
And today just the weirdest shit happened.
Yeah.
So okay, so Adam and I just got back from a week in Hawaii, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, babe. Like I was very hesitant. Like Oahu has always been on my bucket list, and I've like been dying to go to Hawaii. Like that's one place I was like, I would pick up and move there tomorrow if I could, kind of thing. Even though I'd never been there.
Yeah.
And Adam had the chance to go for a work conference, and we had just got back from a vacation a few months ago, and I was like, I don't know. It's like the tickets are kind of expensive to get there, but we'd only have to pay for like the flight, so it's a really good deal. And
Yeah.
My natural like state of being is just to worry about money. Like that's how I survive, I think, even though we don't need to.
Yeah.
So
We're good. Tell you all the time. We're good.
I was
Surprise, we're bankrupt. No, I'm kidding. We're good.
well, that's why Adam takes care of the bills in the family because money like stresses me out. So he takes care of all that, So that's awesome.
Yeah.
But long story short, so we ended up finding a really good flight out of Portland to which is a few hours away from home. So yeah. So he was like, "No, you're coming with me. Like this is your one place that you've always wanted to go. Like you're coming with me. I don't care what you say." So and I was lucky enough that I had vacation, still had some vacation time, so I was able to take the whole week off. And while he was getting up super early every day, I was sleeping in, waking up, lounging around, drinking coffee. We had a really nice view from our room. But everybody knows the day after vacation, especially the Monday after a vacation, is always hectic, right? Because you got a million fucking emails.
Oh, yeah.
There's just always something, right?
Yeah.
And
I had like 5 things on the plate.
yeah. Surprisingly, my work day wasn't super hectic when I got back. I have some pretty good coworkers that kind of make sure that things get taken care of. Any emergencies that come up get taken care of while I'm gone.
Yeah.
Not that you don't have good coworkers, but my job is not as stressful as your job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was after work that like my shit show started.
Yeah.
And I had a plan, like I had some, I was going to talk about some haunted Hawaii hotspots, and things have changed today. Now we're doing we're going to read the few listener stories that people have sent in, so we're going to read those on today's show because it's going to be a little bit shorter of a show, because Adam also had golf after work. Golf league started today.
It started a couple of weeks ago, but today was my first time playing. Yes.
Oh, it did. Okay, so Adam had golf. So we didn't get home till like 3:30 on Sunday morning, and
Yeah, it was real rough.
It was about 4 a.m. when we went to bed, and then we were up at I think you were up at 9.
9.
I was up at 9:30 or 10, and
we napped a little.
I am not one of those people that does well without sleep.
Yeah.
I have always said that. It's almost like I'm like drunk when I don't get enough sleep, right?
Oh.
I like go straight past the goofy stage to where I'm just like a zombie. Like I really don't function well without enough sleep. You do better than I do. Like I feel like you require less sleep, but I will straight up tell you guys, I do not do good without sleep. So I was absolutely useless yesterday.
Yeah, but you were a champ getting us home Saturday night, Sunday morning.
Yeah, I drove home from Portland.
You drove the whole way. Yep.
Yep.
I got to close my eyes a little bit.
Got a little hairy there over the pass, but no, we didn't go for a pass. But
yeah, it was like
that's from Dumb and Dumber.
Tacoma had some rough roads to where I woke up.
Yep.
I was like, Jesus, keep it on the road. And you're like, it's just the bad road.
It's the shitty road in Tacoma.
It's just the shitty road in Tacoma. It's not.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, like, I'm waking up and you're hitting a rumble strip because you're half asleep, falling
Nope.
asleep too.
Nope.
Nope, just shitty roads in Tacoma.
I was like eating my chewy sour nerds. They were keeping me awake, and goldfish.
Yeah.
Drinking like a Coke at 3:30 a.m.
Right.
Super great. That's probably why it took me a while to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Because I drank that Coke to keep me awake on the way home.
But yeah.
So yeah, Hawaii was amazing. We had an awesome time.
Our cats missed us.
Our cats missed us very much.
They want to be near us like the whole last 2 days.
Yep, and I have been loving it. Jaxie has been super cuddly.
Yeah.
Winnie's been real feisty. I feel like
Winnie has been real feisty.
She's like more of a
she's not normally cuddly.
She's not super cuddly.
So.
She's cuddly when she's tired, like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then today I woke up and I have like a little bit of a cough. My chest kind of hurts, so I'm like, fuck. I hope I'm not getting sick, but I feel like I made the joke because a friend just got back from Mexico and she was all stuffed up and I'm like, it's fucking airplanes, man. Every time you get on an airplane, you get sick.
Yeah.
And my other friend's like, oh yeah, you're next. And I'm like, no. I had a really bad sinus infection before we left, so I'm good. Yeah. Fucking jinx myself.
So it sounds like you're getting sick. It's not great.
No. But yeah, so I'm going to tell my crazy story about what happened after work today.
Okay.
And then you can tell yours.
Do I have one? I don't think I
Well,
have
you
one.
got the weather when you were golfing was not fun.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I can talk about that. Yeah. For sure.
So,
talk about why I'm sitting here half naked.
Yeah, me too. So we got home, like I said, we were home super, super late or early, I guess, Sunday morning. So we didn't go get groceries yesterday. So after work today, I was like, I'm going to stop and pick up a few things to get us through till, because I knew we were going to record tonight. And I wanted to make sure that we had stuff for like lunch and breakfast tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
So I go to Safeway after work. I was like, I'm going to pick up some chicken for dinner. I don't know what it is with Safeway lately, but like I feel like their delis are like not great anymore. They used to be super good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just been a few bad times or whatever, but I love going to Safeway at lunch and like getting sandwiches, but they're super expensive now, and they're like the last few times I've gotten them, like their bread is super like stale. Which is like, oh god, this is like an $8 sandwich and it's a small one, like
yeah. You're paying $8 for like a grocery store sandwich. It should be the bomb.
Yeah, and I used to love their sandwiches. So I was like, I'm just going to grab some chicken. It's right here. Like, I needed to grab, like, lettuce and some bananas and all stuff. And I grabbed some mac and cheese. Long story short, the dinner was not good. Like, I ended up throwing it away. Didn't taste very good. The cats really liked the chicken.
Two bites.
I gave the cats some chicken. Jax really liked it.
But he doesn't care if it's
real stringy. Yeah. So then I come home and I like walk through the door. I was like, I think we have a prescription to pick up. I went and picked up a prescription, walked in the door and I was like, what is that fucking smell? Right?
It's from the fridge. I think I said something about something in the fridge was bad the other night, but we were
but we
so
didn't.
Done.
We were just like exhausted. Yeah. So I opened up the fridge, and there was a milk jug in there that we had not thrown out because we didn't want to throw it out and leave it sitting in our house for a week while we were on vacation.
Yeah.
Well, the thing had like fermented or something, and there was
sometimes they can pop
rancid milk all over our fucking fridge. In the drawer. So I was like,
sounds bad. Sounds so
fuck. Bad. So that's probably also why I didn't want to eat my dinner, because my stomach was kind of off after cleaning up that milk, because I was like, oh, I got to get that cleaned up first,
Yeah.
So, did that, and then I was like throwing stuff in the garbage because there was like, this milk had gotten all over a bunch of like produce and stuff. I'm like, well, we're not eating that. Threw it away, went to take the trash out because it was absolutely full.
Yeah, super full. I cleaned the cat litter yesterday
full.
And was like, oh, I should take this out. But I was like, Sammy needs to throw away whatever. Or, sorry.
He does the bills and I do the cleaning. No, you help clean. And I did appreciate you cleaning the litter when we got home yesterday.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No.
Yes, I totally was like,
Sammy's going to throw away whatever.
Sammy needs to clean out. You kind of always clean out the fridge.
I do.
Like, that's just, I mean.
Because I throw away, like, I'm more
picky. You throw away stuff before, like, I would hang on to it longer.
Yes, exactly. So I'm happy to clean
But
the
I
fridge.
did know that there was something bad
There was something, which we still need to do. But, Anyway, so we have this like massively full garbage can. I go to pull it out of the can to take it out to the outside can. The fucking bag, there was a broken glass in there. The bag fucking split. So when I went to pull it up, the garbage can tipped over. So there was like...
You had cat litter. At least I cinched that. That should have been in its own bag.
That mac and cheese.
Yeah.
There was these paper towels that were like...
Old milk.
Rancid milk on them that got on the carpet.
Yeah.
So I then had to steam clean the carpet all while and like take the garbage outside, take the inside garbage can outside, hose it down, like put Dawn in there and like clean it out.
Yeah.
Clean the mat that it's on because we have like a mat because our garbage cans are like right by our kitchen where the tile, it's like tile carpet. There's no like in between space.
Yeah.
So we have it on this like big rubber mat. So, you know, to keep it a little clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was like a chunk of like milk that had like gotten on the carpet.
Ugh.
The cats were meowing at it. Like they were like, what the fuck is that smell?
It's like, eat it. This
is
your job.
So,
and dogs. The dog would have been over there like fucking.
Yeah, and then we'd have to clean up dog puke too, probably.
Yeah, dog puke for sure.
So that was like, I was just like, oh Jesus Christ, are you fucking kidding me? Like really? So I was like, God, I was so mad. And then I just started like, it got to the point where I was just laughing because I'm like, what else is gonna happen, you know?
Right.
And then and then I'm like outside. And it's like hailing. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, Adam is golfing right now. So that'll...
Yeah, I got hailed on.
Yeah, you got hailed on. And rained on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes back to my story time.
Well, let's go into it. You came home looking like a drowned rat.
Yeah. Like, it was raining when I got out to the golf course. I was like, oh man, do I really want to golf today? Like, I don't know if I do. And then, like, it cleared up. Like, I texted my golf partner and he's like, yeah, I'm coming out. I'm like 15 minutes out. So I sat in my car for like 10, 15 minutes. Never saw him. It kind of cleared up. I grabbed my raincoat. I walked in. Barely got dripped on. Checked out. The sun kind of came out. Went and got a cart. It was covered in water.
Ugh.
Like, I tried my best to like wipe it down.
Mm-hmm.
But I ultimately ended up sitting in like a little bit of water. Went and got my clubs. But yeah, it started to get nice out. Went and got my clubs from my golf partner. He was already like out at like the practice range thing. Chatted with him for a bit. And then yeah, we kicked off and everything was good. Like we basically like it was like, oh, might clear up, like we're good till about 6. And then
6th hole, right? Or 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
Okay.
Which is probably right around the right time, because yeah, it's like, so we hit like the 6th hole, and we're like, oh, the clouds are starting to come in. We hit the 7th hole, and it kind of starts sprinkling just a little bit, and we're like, okay. And then we finish the 7th hole, and like on our way back to the carts, it's like hailing, downpour of rain. It's like, well, I'm already soaked, and now we need to hit the next one. So we play through the 8th hole, and all I can think of is the fucking like Caddyshack when the priest goes out and plays like his amazing round and gets electrocuted at the end. Like I think he misses a putt or something and like curses God and like he gets killed with some lightning. It's in Caddyshack. It's the first one.
I don't know if I it's been so long since I watched that movie.
Yeah, it's like Bill Murray was caddying for him.
Uh-huh.
Because like everybody's like, no, nobody's going out there, and he's like, oh, it's like $100 in it for you or whatever. So Bill Murray caddies for him.
Yeah.
And when he gets electrocuted, like Bill Murray just kind of like dumps the golf clubs and runs away, like just leaves them there and doesn't even. Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's kind of funny. Rodney Dangerfield.
There's a lot of funny people in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chevy Chase, Rodney Dangerfield.
Yeah.
Bill Murray's in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whatchamacallit. Yeah, so like 8th hole, just downpour the whole way. Still raining on us like 9th hole. Halfway through 9th hole, it kind of clears up. So we like finished out and it was like sunshine again, practically.
Yeah.
But we were like soaked to the bone by then. Like there was nothing doing.
Yeah. Like just I'm moist. I'm moist for the rest of the round.
Yeah, my hair is still wet.
Yeah.
So I got home just like
Silhouette. It
shedded
sounded like you said silhouette, but silhouette.
silhouette,
It's
still wet.
me, Mario. It's silhouette. Sorry.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I got home, and I can't stand being in wet clothes. So it's
No.
like jeans, wet jeans.
Ugh.
Yeah. So I was just like straight up like I got in the door, kicked off my shoes. They're wet.
I turn around and he's like stripping. I'm like, yeah, dollar bill, y'all.
Yeah. And I was just like, let me tell you about my day.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, as I
I
said,
feel and like your work was more stressful like than mine was coming back today. So I feel like and we're still tired.
yeah, I'm still tired. Yeah, I don't even know if I fully got through all my emails. Like that's how bad it was today. Like I was like pure triage.
Yeah.
Didn't read. Like I had a number of emails that were kind of just like, here's the latest going ons.
Yeah.
Didn't. So yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to record. I'm ready to be here for the podcast and
Yeah.
get her done so we can keep these things on time and
Keep on keeping on.
yeah.
So yeah, like I said, we're gonna do a little bit different today. We're gonna just do we've asked for reader stories. We've gotten I think we have 3 that we're gonna read today. So if you want to hear yours read on the podcast, you can send us an email because we want to read it for you. And also, our plan is to have this be part of our Patreon when we eventually get that going. When we get enough people interested that they would want to hear some more from us. So
Yeah.
But before we go into that, I did want to mention I posted it on our socials, but the Grace Harbor Sheriff has actually been there was a massive search done last week or a few weeks ago, based on a tip that they got from Lindsey Baum's investigation. So
Yeah.
they said, this case is still very much alive. Lindsey was the first story that we covered here. She was, as just a brief recap, she disappeared in 2009, I think it was, and she was found in 2017, identified in 2018. Now, please don't hold those numbers to me. I'm literally going off the top of my head right now, trying to remember.
Yeah.
They found her body in Eastern Washington, or
Parts.
partial remains.
Partial remains.
Yeah, and they still have not identified who took her and murdered her. So, hopefully, this search yielded some more information that can help lead to the killer or killers, whoever did this. It sounds like it was based on a tip that had been previously received, like maybe years ago. So, yeah,
I was gonna like post to you like, hey, should we take credit? Like our podcast did this.
No.
You know.
I mean,
like,
I think that this has been going on for a while. Like they have been working actively, towards trying to find who did this because she was a young girl. Like she deserves better. So hopefully,
100%.
and again, like we've said with other cases, the advances in DNA technology in things like that. Hopefully, it's going to help lead to finding whoever did this to her and bringing them to justice because she deserves that. Like whoever did this they need to pay for what they did. They need to take ownership, take responsibility because it's never good to kill somebody. Like it's always hard to see when somebody ends another person's life, but like we said in the episode, there's so much potential that's just gone, like it's when it's a child. So, we wanted to update you guys on that. So we'll keep.
We're hoping. We're
really hoping.
We're hoping something comes out.
I'm hoping so too. I'm hoping that
Catch
whoever did this, is going to be brought to justice because that's the very least that can be done now. You know what I mean? So, so we're going to keep you guys posted on that. Because again, the biggest part of us doing this, is we want to make sure that people like Lindsey don't get lost in the sea of true crime. Sadly, there's a lot of cases like hers. She's, it's not unique, which is terrible because you don't want to see people like that, or you don't want to see cases go unsolved. So, overall, like we want to be respectful towards people that are victims of crimes, and we want to make sure that people remember the victim and not just the crime. So yeah, we wanted to just update you guys on that. So, excuse me. So with that, let's just go ahead and get into our email.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited to hear what our listeners have sent us.
yeah. So the first one is from our listener Veronica. And
We're not gonna like.
we're not going to give last names.
No last names, but we're not gonna like fake name it or anything.
Nope,
Sorry,
because
I'm
I asked both of them if I could use their
their
names, and they both said that was okay.
perfect.
Yep.
That is great.
Yeah.
If you had asked me, I would have made up some like, sorry, you get my like porn star name like Dirk Bigelow or.
So this is from Veronica, one of our listeners, and this is actually back from November. Um, so
Sorry, it's been so long.
yeah,
We've been collecting.
We've been collecting,
trying to get people to.
So yeah, people, if you like
more.
hearing these, I know that there are people that listen that have stories. So you guys better send them in, or I'm going to tell them anyways.
It's better to get your permission.
Yeah, so just send us in because one of my favorite podcasts is the Paranormal Chicks. I think I've mentioned that many times on here. Like a Paranormal Chicks, Morbid, Sinister Hood, Ghosts and Hoes. They all do listener tales, and those are like one of my favorite episodes when people write in their own stories. So I would like to include that on our podcast as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Veronica writes, "Hello. Just finished the new episode and was already thinking of my experiences when you requested we share some. I will give you an overview and a link to some info I can find, and then you can tell me if you want more information. So on the topic of tragic murders, I have 2 stories where I had contact with the victim/murderer. One old one and a fairly recent one."
Say what?
Yeah. So, story number 1. Virginia Beach, 1993. I was 6 years old and my classmate Ashley was brutally murdered along with her mother in their home. Most of my life, I just knew she was killed by a neighbor who had possibly had a disagreement with the husband's father. I have a class photo, and growing up, every time I would see her in it, I would be sad because she had been my friend. I looked up the case a few years ago and read the website. It was so awful, I didn't really dive deep into it further. And she actually sent a link.
Okay.
So, the murderer was Russell William Burkett, and he was executed in August of 2000 by lethal injection. Excuse me. He was executed August 30th, 2000 by lethal injection in Virginia. He used a rusty crowbar to beat and crush the skulls of Catherine and her 5-year-old daughter.
Oh.
He also sexually assaulted the mother. I'm not going to go too much into it, too, because this is terrible. But I could see why you wouldn't want to dig deeper into that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then for her second story, this one's actually Sioux Falls, Lenox in 2017.
Okay.
So during this time, I worked at a bank. This woman worked for a company and embezzled tons. And when she was going to be discovered, she killed herself and her son and planned to kill her husband, too. It was truly awful and messed up. Anyways, for this company she worked for, she would bring the deposits to the bank for processing, and myself and other tellers helped her almost daily. We often commented that she always seemed stoic, never smiled, rarely said thank you, etc. Then she stopped coming into the bank. Then this happened, and it was shocking. I guess it rocked the community, too, as Lenox is small.
Yeah.
I don't know where Lenox
big area.
is. Yeah.
It's one of like surrounding neighboring towns, probably within like 10, 15 minutes of Sioux Falls, you know?
Yeah.
So.
As somebody that worked at a credit union, I know, like, I've had similar, not to this degree, but I've had similar cases where, like, you found out somebody was, like, stealing from the company they worked for, they were, like, forging checks, yada, 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 and you always, like, think back to, like, should I have seen that? Like, should I have seen, something, or,
but I don't think you at the bank were, right? Because, I mean, they were, like,
no.
They were just essentially depositing less money than they were supposed to usually, right?
I mean, I'm not 100%
That's like the number one way I think people embezzle when they're doing deposits.
Or they put money in and then transfer it to a different account that, like, there's lots of ways to embezzle, and we're not going to tell you guys how to do that because we're not going to promote embezzling. So thank you, Veronica, for sending in your stories. If you have any more, we would obviously love to hear them.
So I have a question.
What's up?
So the guy was executed in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
Did the murders happen in Virginia? Or were they South Dakota murders?
Let's see. Virginia Beach. She was in Virginia Beach when she was 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't think I knew that about her. I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember. Yeah.
So obviously this is somebody Adam knows. I mean, we both know her actually. I met her through you, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Those are interesting, because the embezzlement one, it's kind of like why do people like murder suicide? It's kind of such a weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the tragic one of her her friend and the mom
Yeah.
is like even worse. Like that's terrible. I mean, so it's terrible. I will say at least they got the guy, right?
Yeah.
They got the guy, and it sounds like they put him to death within 10 years.
Yeah.
I think they should say the murders were like 93.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, and she also sent links, so we could always add them to our
Yeah.
you know.
Maybe if other people want to
Yeah, if people
dive deeper, we're not gonna.
Yeah, and we could always maybe do a story on it as well, a deep dive into the case itself.
Yeah.
Because she did provide links, so thank you for that. And our last one is from our friend Clara. She said, "My friend Nina and I were home alone waiting for our other friend to pick us up for a 4-H meeting, which I was in 4-H too."
Yeah. We talked about this on our recent trip.
We did.
The difference between 4-H and other
FFA.
Yeah.
I was giving our friend directions to my house over the phone because she had gotten lost. She was getting pretty close to my house, so I told her that Nina and I would be waiting outside. I locked up the house, and Nina and I were standing outside my dining room window chatting and waiting for our ride. Suddenly, Nina and I stopped talking, and our heads whipped around at the same time to look in the dining room window. We both saw an old man with a Victorian-looking suit, white hair, and a beard, and a little black cat sitting at my dining room table with his hands flat on the table in front of him. Nina and I looked at each other, and I saw that all the color had drained out of her face, and she said, "Did you see him too?" We told each other we had seen, and we both saw the exact same thing. I immediately unlocked the house and checked every room, but they were, of course, empty. My parents had built the house from the ground up about 2 to 3 years before, so I have no idea why we got a ghost visit, lol. I never knew my grandparents, but I'm wondering if it could have been my grandpa popping in. Nina didn't recognize the guy either, so I have no idea who the visitor was. Well, that's terrifying.
Just a random ghost visit.
Just a random ghost visit, and it's scary when it's right outside if you're standing outside your house looking in, your house is like your fortress, right? Your safe place. And to see some unwanted guest of the dead variety at your home, not good.
Also the fact that they both sensed it.
And they both saw the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very freaky. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Someone playing a trick?
Well, she said she went in and looked and checked all the rooms and didn't see anybody.
Yeah, right. So I'm busting out the skeptic in me on it, right?
Yeah.
I'm just,
As you do.
Two people. So you have that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know mass hysteria is a thing, but I think two people doesn't qualify as mass hysteria.
Yeah. I mean, for them both to look around at the same time and realize there's something there, that's odd.
Yeah. Something was presence or movement or something, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
a light, a shadow,
something. And
right.
For them to both see the validation from your friend is always a good thing, it makes you feel better.
Yeah. Nobody likes to see Slender Man alone.
No, never. Fear the Slender Man. Well, did I ever tell you the story about my friend Amanda's house? So my friend Amanda's house, she their house is fucking haunted, and I was watching her little brother one time when she was she was at practice or something because she was athletic, and I obviously was not. And I was watching
sports.
Go sports. What is it on Letterkenny? He's like, yeah, you can play the hockey ball.
Yeah.
Glenn. Yeah. And I was sitting in their living room with her little brother. He was watching TV. I was doing homework or something. And I heard the door shut and I heard footsteps going up their stairs because they had one of those old spiral metal staircases.
Okay.
So the sound of somebody walking up the stairs was very distinct, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, Blake, get ready. Like, your mom's here. She's going to take me home. Yeah, she wasn't home. I was like, Blake, you heard that too, right? And he's like, yeah, it's just the ghost. Like, I think he was 4 years younger than us.
Yeah.
And so I, like, literally went outside. Like, her mom's car was not there. My friend's car wasn't there. I went upstairs. I was like, somebody's fucking with us, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Went upstairs, checked the whole house. Nobody was in that house. And
Scribe put her face on the table here.
And
something gonna pop up on the.
Yeah, he was just so like nonchalant, like, oh yeah, it's just the ghost.
Yeah.
No big deal. And then her boyfriend, now husband, was painting there one time when they were like they were doing some stuff to the house, and he was there by himself. He fucking left like the paint out. Something happened. He left the paint out. He's like, I'm not going back there by myself. Hell no. So he like, I think somebody like whispered something to him or like touched him. I don't remember exactly. But he had something happen, and he left and was like, I ain't fucking going back there by myself. Oh hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's just the ghost.
It's just the ghost. I mean, he was always nice. I never really had any bad. It was more like, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm totally having trouble, like, skepticing this one out, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like, the only explanation is literally like somebody played a trick on you and got you real good somehow that you were unable to,
Why is it that she wants to be cuddly and cute when we're recording and never any other time?
Know, right?
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys liked hearing people's stories, because there are a lot of unexplainable things that happen in this world, in this life. So we like talking about it. Like if you've had a UFO encounter, if you lived out in the cornfields in North Dakota, South Dakotas, you got sucked up by Kang and Konos. Isn't that the aliens on The Simpsons?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Konos and Kang. Seriously, as you guys have heard, I am a believer. Adam is a little bit more skeptical, but he is open minded, so that's good.
Still willing to believe. Like I said, if I can't make some common sense, like what it could be, I mean, all right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So thank you guys. Thank you, Clara and Veronica, for sending in your stories and letting us read them online or on the podcast. If you have your own story of your own brush with true crime, paranormal, UFOs, if you've seen Sasquatch in the woods, like, I want to fucking hear about it, especially the Sasquatch.
Yeah, we have yet to do a Sasquatch episode. We need to do one soon. I
told you, I got.
You gotta do him justice. I know.
I got that hairy squatch on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Because he's my homie.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, thank you guys for tuning in. You can email us your own stories at admin@creepycascadiapod. You should also check out our website, which is creepycascadiapod.com. We also have a Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, which is all just Creepy Cascadia Pod. And if you really want to help us out, you can leave us a 5-star rating and a review on the whatever platform that you're listening on. Yeah, thanks for being flexible with us today. And we got Winnie here jumping all over the place.
Yeah, she just jumped up like she really likes to jump up between you and the chair, like on your back. Mm-hmm. And she just bounded up there.
Yep.
It's so easy for her to jump up.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to pick her up. She's coming over here and let me scratch her face all over.
Yeah.
Picked her up a little.
Yeah.
She let me do that. Normally she'll be like, meh.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will be back next week with our regular episode. If you guys like hearing these listener stories, like I said, send us in your own so we can share them on this podcast. And if there's a topic that you want us to cover, if there's something that you're like, oh, this is so cool, I would love to hear it covered on the podcast, shoot us an email, shoot us a message on Facebook or Instagram, or shoot me a message on the TikToks. We would, we're definitely, we have a list of lots of topic episodes, so we can add it to the list. And if it's something really especially cool, I might just move it up on the list. So,
I just burped.
okay, well that's okay. But like I said,
holding in a fart.
we'll be back next week with a regular episode for you guys. And as always, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.